What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a little bit different but really good. So as we are going into the new year, so we're finishing 2020 in less than a month and we are about to go into 2021. And this year honestly has been very, very difficult. I think for everyone around the whole world, we have been shaped in one way or another by the pandemic and, everything that was a consequence because of the pandemic. And I know these times can be really, really trying. It can be very depressing. It can be very sad. A lot of people have lost their loved ones, lost their jobs, dealt with depression, anxiety. It's just a mixture. It's a cluster of problems that have happened this year. I wanted to create a list of 5 ways that you guys can stay positive in the 2020s. Obviously, I'm not a therapist or anything like that. These are just my own personal opinions and my own personal experiences, and I really do hope that you find this very helpful, and I hope that your year will be prosperous and full of love and happiness. So let's just jump right into it. First way to stay positive in the 2020s is to start your day right. Over this past year, I have really learned that the way I start my day will definitely set an influence of how I'm going to feel for the rest of the day. I know I'm not alone. I wake up, I go on my phone, I'm scrolling through my feed, and immediately I see something that's news related, that either, this amount of people have died, these people have gotten hurt, this whole new horrible thing has happened, and immediately your body it's just a natural reaction. It's a negative reaction. Either you feel sad, you feel scared, you feel anxious, and it's literally the first thing that enters your brain as soon as you wake up. Sometimes I'm just the type of person, I don't really like to watch the news because I get really affected by it personally. Like I'll start to feel sad or just super anxious or worried about what's going to happen. So I will avoid it. But this year, since everything has been so crazy, I go on Facebook, I go on Instagram, and I get the news whether I'm looking for it or not. So what I have done this year, or at least I try to do, is in the morning, I do not want to look at my phone. My tip would definitely be when you wake up, spend your first hour without your phone. Don't look at any type of social media that you will see something that is negative, that may affect the way you feel. And sometimes you don't even feel it. You don't think that you're affected by it, but subconsciously, your mind, your body, it is affected by these things. And sometimes, you start the day off very depressed and it can just go down, 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 or you started anxious or you started worried. And, you want to start each day off with a really positive note. So you can do it by, just breathing, being in silence, listening to music. Meditating is an awesome way to start the day in a positive manner, something that brings joy to your heart or inspires you. Hour of our day will definitely set the tone for the rest of the day. So do something you enjoy. Exercise, go for a walk, drink a tea, drink your coffee, watch a show that you find funny. I think this is really something that is beneficial for all of us because we are all under a lot of stress and a lot of trauma because of everything going on in the world, more than our normal problems. So it's important to start your day right and, kind of to just X out anything negative, just be the positive and do things that you enjoy. Express your emotions. It is so important to get out the way that you feel, not only for your mind, but for your body as well. Your body and your mind will thank you and be a lot healthier if you express the way that you feel. No matter what happens, if you feel sad or if you feel angry and you just keep stuffing it down, the emotions will be there. They're just gonna pop out in, maybe a way you wouldn't expect it, or you're just gonna feel it on a later date. There's no way to outrun our emotions. It is really important for us to express them and express them in a healthy way. I think a great way for everyone to express their emotions is through journaling. I have been journaling since I've been basically 9 years old. I have a whole bunch of journals throughout my life. And whenever I feel that, I can't really talk to somebody about a certain problem, or maybe that I've talked too much about a certain problem to somebody and I'm like, oh my God, what if they're sick of it? I always write down in my journal. I think it's a really healthy way to get out all of our emotions, put it on paper and let them go. It may not happen overnight, but it's something that's really healthy and positive to do every day. Sometimes you don't even have to write about your emotions. You can just basically say what you did in your life and you can look back at it as a fond memory. Or you can look back at it and see how much you have overcome since that time that you wrote that in that journal. I think it's important to talk to someone. If you have a friend that, will definitely listen to you, or a family member, definitely reach out to them. These times are very hard. It is hard to not know what's going to happen in our future. And the reality is we never really know what's going to happen in our future, but we feel like we have that control. But this year has kind of completely taken away that control. Everything we thought wouldn't happen in our lifetime has happened. Everything we're used to, our whole reality has been dismantled. And that will come with a lot of emotions that need to be expressed in a healthy way. I know being in quarantine and being in the pandemic and staying home every day can bring up a lot of emotions, can bring up things from the past that maybe you were sad about, and maybe you're coping with those emotions through, eating bad or not exercising or, drugs and alcohol, destructive behavior. So it's really important to find a way to express those emotions in a healthy way, like journaling, talking to a friend, and if you don't have anyone to talk to, maybe reaching out to a therapist just to talk to someone that has a different opinion and they don't have any bias towards you. They don't know anything about your life and they're just there to help you out with your problems. And it's just important to get those emotions out and to know that it's okay to have bad days. It's actually very healthy to cry. It's something good for us to do for our bodies, because it's a way to release those emotions that are brought up, because no matter what, they're always gonna be there. Go green. So I mean this in more ways than one. You always hear the term go green, and basically, it can mean like recycling, giving back to the environment. I mean it in two ways. The first way that I mean it is to go green, but within your own body. Throughout this year, I have been doing a lot more juicing and smoothies. So I will do sometimes celery juice, just pure celery juice in the morning, or I will do a green smoothie, which if you guys would like a recipe of my green smoothies, definitely comment down below and I can do a video on that. Just adding a lot of kale and spinach into my life and drinking. It's just easier for me to drink it. If you like to eat it, kudos to you. But for me, I rather just drink my greens, or, if you want to do wheatgrass shots, things like that. It's so beneficial for your body to just add greens back into our diet. Everything we eat is so processed, and I fall short to that all the time. I love the most processed food. I love spicy chips. I love McDonald's. I love candy. But it's important to remember to, take care of ourselves. Because these bodies aren't going to last forever and we have to treat them as good as we can. So definitely incorporate eating something green or drinking something green. For me, it was easier to do the smoothies and drinking green juices. And I feel like I noticed such a big difference in the way that I felt, in my energy. It was a great alternative to coffee because it gave me a lot of energy. And I think it's something really important to kind of incorporate, at least, if not every day, at least a few times a week, because we tend to forget that we really do need these good foods to get our bodies really going. And if you're feeling healthy, you're not feeling lethargic, you're not feeling tired, you're gonna be a lot happier. The other way that I mean to go green is the typical way, and that means I think it would be great to implement one thing in your life that you can do that's good for the environment. Throughout this pandemic, my family and I started composting, which I think is really, really cool. We had never did it before. So basically, it's like getting anything that's fruits or vegetables in your house and putting it in a composter, and it will naturally decompose, and then it becomes soil and you can put it back into the ground instead of just throwing it out and becoming waste and adding to that carbon footprint. So I think it's really good just incorporate one thing. It could be recycling more, turning off the faucet, something like that. It is good to reconnect with Mother Nature. It's so important. And I think this pandemic, if anything, that's one of the good things that have come out of it for me, is that I've kind of reconnected a lot with nature, and I've been loving being outside instead of being inside all the time, because you just feel so free and amazing. So I think it's important for us to give back and to do, at least one thing, because that one thing really does make a really big difference. Give back. One of the most important lessons that I have learned in my life is to give back to one another. And this doesn't just mean your family or your friends. It can be to a complete stranger. It's so important. If you don't take anything from this video, just take this. It's so important to be kind. It's honestly, to me, one of the most important things in the world, if not the most important thing. It's important to be kind to people and to give to one another, because at the end of the day, have we not learned, especially this year, that we're all connected in this planet? Maybe you don't know that person, maybe you've never seen them before in their life, but everyone's actions, we're just all connected. And it's really important to give back to other people. Maybe, you don't have the financial means to do that, but giving back can be something simple, can be, cooking for somebody. It can be, listening to someone with their problems. It could be holding the door open. It can be, it could be a really simple task, but I think it's really important to incorporate that in, our everyday life, to give back to other people. Because whether we know it or not, a lot of people, they're suffering with their own battles, with their own stories. And sometimes a simple task or sometimes a simple gesture can really change so much for one person. That can be so special and amazing. And besides the fact that you're doing something good for someone, you're gonna feel good inside. For us to just remain connected and remain supporting each other, because even if you may hate someone else, we're kind of in this all together. Everything that has been happening, and it has affected someone in one way or another. So if someone has showed you kindness, thank them, be grateful, and show someone else kindness. Just keep passing it on, like the movie Pay It Forward. It's just like a chain effect that happens. And I feel like, so many people will complain and will say that there's so much bad in the world, and there's so many people that do bad things and all that stuff, and just get really down and be like, like I've seen so many things on social media this year being like, oh, I can't stand people. Humanity is horrible. Like, I just can't deal with people. I'm just ready to just give up on all of them. But you know what? The thing is, we can't control what other people do, but you can be that good person. You can be that one person that is positive, that is helpful, that is giving. You can be the change that you want to see in other people. And trust me, you're going to feel a lot happier if you're living a life of service and gratitude, because that's actually, despite all these things, social media and everything and all these material objects, that's what matters in life, is being happy. I just think it's really important to give back to those less fortunate, or even for those fortunate, just someone, if you see someone in need, offer them that hand. And I mean that metaphorically. Offer that hand of help, and you will see how the more and more you give, the happier you become. Because, to be happy, you got to give it away. You got to give it to somebody else, and it's just like a beautiful domino effect. And the last one is going to be create. I think it is so important to have something creative in your life. The arts and music are, to me personally, the best things in life. Are just beautiful parts of life, and I am so passionate about it. I am a dancer, if you guys have seen on my channel. I also write, I draw, I paint, I do different things, and I notice whenever I'm creating, I am able to get out my emotions and the way that I feel in a really positive way. Also, I can put my thoughts and my focus into something positive that I'm building. And I feel like every time I have worked really hard in a creative product and I have accomplished it, I feel great because I worked so hard, and I feel that feeling of accomplishment, and I'm proud of myself. So if you feel like maybe you're not a creative person, maybe you haven't really tried, just give it a try. We are all creative, no matter what you say. Maybe your thing might not be drawing. Maybe your thing might not be doing music. Maybe it might be dancing. Maybe it might be singing. But there is always something that we can creatively bond to and will add that much more meaning to our life. I saw something on TikTok the other day that I thought was really helpful and was really insightful. This girl said that basically, from her therapist, told her that there are two ways that people live their lives. One way is that people live a very goal-oriented, and they just, like, for example, like, they want to graduate college, they want to get a job, they want to get married, they want to have kids. Those are certain people. They just do everything by goals. They're working on goal after goal. And then there are people who basically work on creating experiences and emotions, that they're trying to create more emotions and moments. And sometimes when you're so goal oriented, you feel like you're never gonna be happy. You feel like you're just gonna kind of like, you're trying to get this goal, and if you can't achieve it, then you're a failure. So I kind of related this to creating, because I feel like sometimes in life we are expected to get a job. We're expected, to have our career. And sometimes we forget that it is really important to stop and just create. And it doesn't have to be for a purpose. It doesn't have to be to make money. Sometimes it's good just to create, just to have an experience, just to enjoy, to feel like you're living life. So I definitely encourage you, create something. It can be anything. And everyone that says that they can't create, yes, you can. You can definitely create. Just get yourself out of that mind space and try something that you have not tried before. So yeah, guys, those are my 5 ways to stay positive in the 2020s. Everything is going to be good. Everything is going to be all right. Just know that your reality is your perception. And today we are going to have a beautiful perception. So thank you guys so much again for tuning into my channel. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.